It all begins with meeting Dawn, a young woman passionate about art who dreams of studying in Paris, thus fulfilling the wish her mother always had for her. Dawn lives with her sister Emily and her grandmother Bertie, who are her only family. Our protagonist has been waiting for weeks for news from the art school until it finally arrived. While they accept her to study, they reject her requests for transfer, housing, and maintenance. Her grandmother does not believe that this is a problem since Dawn has been saving for years working without rest. Emily, realizing that Dawn avoided talking about the money issue, goes after her to ask if something is wrong. Faced with this, her sister confesses that she used part of her money to cover her grandmother's medical expenses a year ago. So she no longer has enough even for the flight, much less for her stay while she studies. Emily asks her not to be discouraged and that they will find a way to solve it. While Dawn was working as usual in the city restaurant, Emily visits her since she has already found a way for her to go to Paris. She shows her a reality show where 20 girls compete to win the man of their dreams. Since the show will take place in Paris, Emily believes it is a very good opportunity as that way she would travel for free and also get paid just for being one of the participants, something she could use for her stay while carrying out her studies. Dawn considers it complete madness. However, her sister ends up convincing her since it is her only way to fulfill her dream to attend the casting. Emily explains in detail what the show is about since she has seen all the previous seasons. She makes it clear that she has to be the first eliminated and that way she will not waste much time. She will have her money and she will already be in Paris. After an extensive explanation of everything she must do and details she must know, the long-awaited day of the casting finally arrives. All those who audition for the casting are completely different from Dawn. While they are only interested in being chosen by the coveted bachelor, our protagonist only wants to get to Paris and be the first eliminated. During her audition, Dawn is interviewed by Rachel. Our protagonist pretends to have seen all the seasons of the reality show. However, Rachel quickly realizes it is a lie because of the notes she has on her hand. However, for her this is not a problem and she continues asking about her interests. After a brief conversation, the director interrupts them and tells Dawn that they will call her. Rachel considers her a good candidate. However, her boss refuses since our protagonist does not have many followers on social media. After leaving her audition, Dawn meets the rest of the participants, among them Lexi Miller, of whom Emily is a fan because she has millions of followers. Lexi streams what her audition will be like since she is more than sure she will be one of the chosen ones. At night, the sisters go out to a bar to have fun. There, Dawn is captivated by a guy she had never seen in her town. They quickly connect and share a dance in the center of the floor. While enjoying the moment, Dawn realizes that her sister is being harassed by some guys. She immediately goes to defend her and completely captivates the boy she had just met. The next day, Dawn receives the long-awaited call from the reality show and has been selected among the 20 candidates. With mixed feelings, she says goodbye to her family who encourage her with love and wish her success. Trusting that this opportunity will bring her closer to fulfilling her great dream, Dawn arrives excited for her trip. She has to adapt to the rest of the girls because the reality show is recorded at all times. When they are already on board, Rachel takes away their cell phones because it is part of the contract. All of them are completely excited and are treated like queens. Dawn befriends Jasmine, with whom she shares the cookies her grandmother made for her. Rachel, who insisted on giving Dawn a chance, tries to help her adapt to the reality show, and is as excited as the other participants to meet their Prince Charming. After a long trip, the girls are finally ready to land. They have not been able to see anything from the window because the program wants to record their reactions when they step on solid ground. They are all given hats and flags as part of the show. When the plane finally lands, the cameras turn back on to capture the reactions. All of them are totally disappointed as they have been taken to Paris, Texas, and not to France as they expected. Dawn is the first to complain because her plan has fallen apart. She asks for her phone and her things back to return to her home, which is only an hour away. Rachel asks her to calm down. However, Dawn is too upset. The director makes it clear that she cannot leave because she signed a contract. In addition, if she leaves, she will lose the $20,000 she earned just for having been chosen. With no other option, Dawn returns with the competitors, who remain just as excited to meet their Prince Charming. All the girls are taken to a large ranch where the mansion that will be their place of competition is located. Rachel welcomes them and informs them that tomorrow they will finally meet the coveted bachelor, who is the owner of the vast property. The girls, completely excited, tour the whole place and fight over the closet full of clothes prepared for them. Meanwhile, Dawn settles into what will be her room, which luckily she will share with Jasmine, who asks her for help on how to dress since our protagonist is from the place. The next day, while Dawn is taking a walk around the place, she runs into the boy she met at the bar again. She quickly realizes that Trey McCallan is the coveted bachelor of the reality show. Dawn does not hesitate to ask him to eliminate her first. However, Trey, who feels attracted to her, is not willing to listen. Rachel scolds Dawn for not being ready for the presentation they will have. Our protagonist, tired of hiding her true intentions, reveals to Rachel that she lied, that she expected to arrive in Paris and finally fulfill her dream of studying. Rachel asks her not to tell anyone else because the show could sue her. She advises her to fake it and be the first eliminated in front of millions of people so as not to raise suspicion and to leave with the $20,000 she obtained. With no other choice, Dawn changes and joins the other competitors. All of them, with great enthusiasm, welcome Trey, who makes a spectacular entrance with his horse. The girls are captivated and get ready to spend an entire afternoon with their coveted bachelor. Dawn tries to sabotage everything in order to be eliminated. Since each participant has to have a conversation with Trey, our protagonist also has to do it. When the director realizes that they know each other from the tense conversation they have, he decides to intervene. Dawn wants to be disqualified. However, Rachel prevents it. The director, noticing that there is a spark between them, agrees to let her stay, convinced that this will make the reality show even more interesting. After the first impression, Trey must choose who will be the first eliminated. When Dawn was finally expecting to leave the program, Trey chooses her as one of those who will stay. This disappoints her, but she cannot do anything about it. The next morning, all of them receive a new task. After finishing hers, Dawn looks for Trey to convince him to eliminate her. However, he refuses again, mentioning that he wants to prove to her that he can be better than a French boyfriend without imagining that this is not the reason why our protagonist wants to leave. After being saved from elimination once again, Dawn explodes in frustration and is unable to hold back. She confesses to Jasmine that she actually needs to leave the reality show. Her companion listens to her and, instead of judging her, encourages her to see things from another perspective. She suggests that she have fun and take advantage of the dating competition that is about to begin, and try to win since there will be cash prizes that could help her finance her studies. Upon knowing this, Dawn changes her way of seeing the game and for the first time feels a true desire to compete. The competitors are taken to the first challenge. They will all compete on the mechanical bull. Whoever manages to stay on the longest will win a $5,000 prize. The girls, excited, give their best effort. Dawn is the one who manages the longest time. However, when Lexi enters, everything changes. Full of sensuality, she unexpectedly manages to beat our protagonist. She wins the money and a date with Trey, provoking jealousy in Dawn. Our protagonist, unable to stand it, decides to spy on the date. Unfortunately for her, her clumsiness makes her get caught and completely ruins the kiss between Trey and Lexi. Without a doubt, an embarrassing moment. A new challenge is set up for the competitors. Now the tension between Dawn and Lexi is felt in the competition. This time our protagonist manages to win. She not only gets a good sum of money but also a date with Trey. The attraction between them grows stronger and stronger. However, our protagonist tries to hide it. In another competition, Lexi is placed as Dawn's partner. Their rivalry over Trey makes things end badly. Both face each other in a fight and unleash complete chaos, causing Trey's ranch horses to run away. Our protagonist, regretful, decides to help the boy, and together they manage to bring the horses back home. There are fewer and fewer participants left, and Dawn continues to remain among the possible winners. Lexi declares war on her as she is not willing to lose the reality show. At that moment, everyone receives the good news that the last 2 finalists will go to France with him, something that excites our protagonist at Dawn. Trey looks for Dawn to take her for a walk, something that is seen by Lexi. Trey takes our protagonist to a special place where they both confess that they are in love and give free rein to their feelings. Meanwhile, Lexi searches through Dawn's belongings and discovers what her intentions were from the beginning. Our protagonist takes Trey to her home and shows him a bit of art, although she does not tell him the truth about why she entered the reality show. The boy shares time with her sister Emily and her grandmother Bertie, who undoubtedly like him very much. Upon returning to the ranch, both are scolded, and this moment is taken advantage of by Lexi, who privately reveals to Trey Dawn's intentions. That night, Trey, without giving an explanation, eliminates Dawn from the reality show because after what Lexi told him, he is sure that Dawn has been using him to get to Paris. Our protagonist, completely disappointed and heartbroken, returns home. With the little money she has, she finally travels to France to study despite not having all the money she needs. Although she has begun to achieve what she always wanted, she feels sad about how things ended with Trey since she really fell in love with him. While having a coffee, Rachel looks for her since that night they will record the final. She suggests that Dawn talk to Trey since he thinks she only used him because of Lexi. Dawn refuses to do this because if she shows up, she would have to return the money she earned. Rachel understands but tells her that it is the only way. Before leaving, she tells her that she left a dress in her apartment in case she changes her mind. Dawn, who has not been able to forget Trey, decides to give up her winnings to appear in the final of the show. She shows up in front of Trey, telling him the whole truth. The romantic and unexpected gesture does not seem to be enough. Trey painfully asks her if her plan upon reaching the final in Paris was simply to abandon him without giving him any explanation. Faced with this, Dawn replies that in reality she only thought they would solve it together. This does not convince Trey and our protagonist has no choice but to leave. Rachel breaks protocol and reveals to Trey that Dawn returned all the money just to appear in the final and be able to talk to him. Knowing this, Trey immediately goes after her. Jasmine helps him and prevents Lexi from stopping him. When he manages to find her, Trey asks her why she returned the money if she needs it for her studies. Faced with this, Dawn tells him that he also became her dream and that is why she did it. Both reconcile and Trey makes a plan for Dawn to get the money back. He asks her that at the proposal he will make, she should choose the money instead of him because he can look for her afterwards since no one can prevent them from starting a relationship. Furthermore, he is willing to wait as long as necessary. Dawn becomes the winner, although with a double prize. Finally, the couple achieved what for many seemed an unattainable dream to consolidate their love without sacrificing their personal goals. They did not have to choose between hot and profession because together they found the perfect balance, building a future where love and success walk hand in hand. And so this story ends. Tell me in the comments what you thought of this new movie. And if you like this video, do not forget to leave your beautiful like as well as subscribe to the channel.